All right, today we're diving into a story that comes out of a small village in Tamil Nadu, India. And really, it's a story all about sacrifice, trust, and a betrayal so deep, it's just hard to wrap your head around.
And this quote, it really hits home, doesn't it? It's the painful truth that's right at the center of the story we're about to get into. It kind of sets the stage for everything that comes next. So let's start at the beginning. Our story is all about this truly amazing woman, a real pioneer from this small village in the Dharmapuri district. You know, she was more than just one person. She was like a beacon of hope for her entire community, a symbol of what you could achieve.
And get this, she grew up in a big family. I mean, she was one of 7 kids, 4 brothers and 2 other sisters. And as you can imagine, in a family that big, it's gotta be tough to carve out your own path.
But wow, did she ever. She didn't just carve a path, she completely blazed a trail. Through just pure grit and determination, she became the very first engineer to come out of her entire village. Can you imagine the pride? The whole community was just beaming because of what she accomplished.
And it wasn't just her intelligence. Her character was just as incredible. People described her as kind, soft-spoken, just innocent to the core, like an angel. And then, when her father passed away, everything changed. The weight of the whole family just landed right on her shoulders. She took care of her mom, who was bedridden. She paid for her brother's kids' education. She supported absolutely everyone and never once complained. She was their rock, their anchor.
But then, things started to shift. The family property got divided up, and that's when a shadow starts to creep into the story. This is where we meet her third brother. He steps onto the scene, and he's wearing this mask, a mask of love and concern that was hiding something much, much darker. See, what he did wasn't just some one-off thing. No, this was a plan, a calculated 2-step deception, all designed to basically bleed her dry, to exploit her trust and her generosity, all for himself. So here's part 1. He comes to her and says, "Hey, you should take out a loan and build a house on your piece of land," and she does it. But as soon as the house is finished, he says, "You know, you work in the city. Why don't I look after it for you?" She trusted him, so she just handed over the keys, and boom, he and his family move right in, he gets a free house, and she's stuck paying off the loan. Unbelievable. Okay, so fast forward a few years. She finally clears that first loan. And who shows up again? Her brother, with another brilliant idea. He tells her, "You should buy another house, this time near your job. My son can come live with you, to take care of you." And what does she do? She trusts him. Again, takes out another loan, makes another huge sacrifice. But the reality? His son turned out to be even worse than he was. And for all this time, for years, she just didn't see what they were really up to. It actually took a tragedy in another sister's life to finally plant a tiny seed of doubt. And that leads us to the most horrifying part of this entire story. You see, another one of her sisters had become a widow, and being alone, struggling, she saw things with this painful clarity. She came to our engineer and just laid it out for her. Get married, don't trust them. No brother is going to stand by you forever. And that warning, it hit hard. For the very first time, at 40 years old, she started to think about herself, about her own life. So, you have to ask, right? After she's given everything to her family, when she finally wants one thing for herself, how does that supposedly loving, caring brother react? Well, he was furious. He opposed it with everything he had. But she didn't back down. Then, one day, she gets this terrible, severe stomach pain. And who does she turn to? The person she's always trusted. She lets him take her to a hospital in Salem, thinking he's getting her the help she needs. But what happened there wasn't care. It was an act of just unthinkable cruelty. He made sure, through a medical procedure, that she could never, ever have children. He took away her chance to ever have a family of her own. He destroyed that dream. I mean, after something that dark, you'd think that's where the story would end, just incomplete tragedy. But it doesn't. A little glimmer of hope appeared, and it came from a very unexpected place.
So at age 43, she connects with a man on a matrimonial site. And he was an orphan. He knew what it was like to be alone, to suffer. He got it. He understood pain on a level that maybe no one else could.
When they first met, she just put it all out there. She told him everything. The struggles, the sacrifices, her family. Now, she didn't know about the medical part yet, but she told him everything else. And he just saw her. Her strength, her good heart, and he accepted her completely. He just wanted to give her the one thing she'd never had,
a simple, peaceful life.
But her story, it doesn't just end with a wedding. It actually opens up some really big questions for all of us. And what's really important to understand here is that this story, it's not over. Not by a long shot.
And it just makes you wonder, doesn't it? How can someone who literally gave everything to her family be betrayed in such a cold, cruel, calculated way?
And maybe even more to the point, how does a brother become the very reason for his sister's lifelong suffering? That bond is supposed to be about protection, about love. How does it get twisted into something so ugly?
And this is absolutely crucial. This isn't just a story from the past. The source makes it clear this is only part one. The brother is apparently still trying to grab her property. And, this is terrifying, there's now been a death threat made against her new husband. That's why there's an urgent appeal being made to share the story, especially around her hometown of Haru. The hope is that getting the word out might actually help protect his life.
So, we end up right back where we started. This whole story is just a heartbreaking reminder that the deepest wounds, the ones that are hardest to heal, they don't come from strangers. They come from the people we're supposed to trust the most. And for her, the fight for a peaceful life, for justice, it's still very much going on.